your leisure. Okay, well, we're going to move on now because we have a great tech corner here that Dirk is going to do with Rob Bellinger of Olympus, and Rob and Dirk have done a few tech corners together, and we're going to do one now on the Olympus stream. So guys, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yep, so once again, we're here with Rob Bellinger of Olympus. Hey, Rob.
Nice
thanks for joining us. Yeah. So we're going to look, we're going to concentrate more on software today rather than hardware, right?
Yes, so Olympus has had for a few years now the Olympus Stream software. This is our analytical software package running with a digital camera on any kind of industrial type microscope. It could be from a stereoscope to wafer inspection scopes, as long as they can attach a digital camera and utilize the software. The Stream software is focused on industrial applications, so I'm going to show you some of the new features in our latest version 1.9 and some of the improvements that we've made to it. We're constantly taking in customer requests and customer pain points and improving the software to
when
meet those
when you
needs.
say industrial, what kind of industries are we talking about?
Industries, they range from metal manufacturers, looking at surfaces and roughnesses and grains analysis and stuff like that, to semiconductor, medical device manufacturing, a big range of any kind of manufacturing where they want to take critical images and measurements on their samples.
Okay.
So today the Stream 1.9 software, some of the quick things I'll cover, some of the new features. The software does incorporate a very integrated database tool. And there are several new features that I can't cover all of them in the time we have, but some of the new features for the database tool, so like copying fields and being able to paste them quickly into new inserts and stuff. But I just wanted to cover the database. Database allows archiving of your images and measurements and reports that are generated, and to be able to search through them quickly later and share throughout the network of users in the company, I would imagine.
Okay.
Back to our acquisition screen. Stream has a workflow process to streamline the process. So you start with the database, you take acquisition, you capture your images, you process the images and create reports.
So similar to some of the other software I've seen from Olympus, you've got you've got tabs, or you've got a way to kind of work your way through the process visually, right on the screen. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's a workflow process to everything to make it simplified. The screens can be customized and simplified for use. For different levels of users even, so different people log in. Beginner users could have very simplified screens. The engineers could have more screens that they're going to interface with. Real quickly though, some of the quick stuff that you use is manual measurement functions, and down here on this bar we have a lot of different manual measurements that have been in the software forever. Line width measurements, angle measurements, area measurements, those can all be done manually on a picture that's taken. We've added a couple new features to this. We got feedback from customers. A lot of customers wanted to be able to do circle-to-circle length measurements. So we have that new feature in the manual measurement toolbar. We can come out here and mark 3 points of a circle and move over and mark 3 points of the circle that you want to measure the length to. And
so now it's showing the length right there on...
Showing the length right on the image, and all of these manual measurements can be exported to a workbook, then out to Excel or embedded into reports, transferred right into your PowerPoint.
So it's storing this also onto a table in the
software
right down there. Okay, yeah, so your features pop up down there. Okay.
So we also put in a new angle ruler. This allows you to bring a ruler out onto the screen and determine specific angles of things. So that's some of the manual measurements and add-ins that we've added from feedback out in the field of use of the tool. Capture new live image. We also added the feature, a lot of customers requested we put a vertical scale bar on the image. So now we not only have a horizontal, but we can add a vertical scale bar.
And what's their usage for that?
The usage of this is when you capture an image and they email the image off or archive it, they want to be able to open it later and know that it's calibrated to a certain size. Okay. And this size, even if you print it out, it doesn't matter. You can go off of this scale here and know the exact dimensional measurements of what's on the image. Okay. So I mentioned real quick about the PowerPoint. That's a new feature in the software as well. We've always been able to take our reports and all of our measurements and workbooks and send them right to a Microsoft Word document. That's great for archiving, sending out as PDFs. But a lot of customers were asking, they were creating presentations in PowerPoint. Okay. So now we have a built-in toolbar interface in PowerPoint where we can send images directly, captured images directly into a PowerPoint presentation you're working on, workbooks right into the PowerPoint, and modify those images directly in PowerPoint and be able to save those PowerPoint presentations right back to your database once it's done. One other new feature added on the screen for live quick measurements is a digital reticle.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of customers ask for this where they can be on a live image like we are.
Now this scales as you change zoom factors and so forth, or lenses or whatnot?
Exactly. So if you're integrated with the microscope, which our software integrates with a lot of our scopes, like this one here is coated nose piece. As soon as you change objectives, it's going to modify and change the scale on the screen. We also have a new, with a motorized stage like we have on here, the ability to click and, click to center kind of function.
So you just clicked.
All I have to do is
clicked on a point?
Control and click on a point, and it'll move that directly to center for me. So if we were quickly wanting to measure this box here, we could just put it in between the reticles, touch it up a little bit. We know it's about 200 microns width. This is a way for them not to have to take pictures and manually measurement, just quicker. Drive to the points, move it in between the reticle here, and get a measurement.
Now, is that shifting the image, or is it actually driving the stage to that point?
This is actually driving the stage to that point, so we can keep going and bring anything we want to the center of the field of view by clicking and centering.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So the digital reticule,
I'm sorry, and the reticule is calibrated when the system is calibrated?
Yes.
So they know the reticule is accurate. If they measure something with reticule, it should be...
So during software install, you're going to put a standard, usually a traceable type standard on here. You're going to calibrate the software. And all of your measurements, the digital reticle, the scale bar, everything is based on that calibration.
Okay, so measurements are traceable. Okay.
Yeah. Turn that off. Some of the features in the software, we have material solutions in the Stream software. These solutions are kind of packaged and individualized for certain custom uses in the field. For industrial applications, we have like grains analysis for metals and cross sections where they want to measure grain boundaries and grain patterns and widths. We have layer thickness measurements for cross sections of materials where they have layers that they want to measure.
Okay.
We have metal inclusions. Certain manufacturers of different types of metals want to measure their inclusions. So all of these porosity measurements, all of these solution modules are designed specifically for an application.
Can you show us a couple of those? Or?
Yeah, two of the new ones that we added to Stream 1.9 are automatic measurement and coating thickness. So automatic measurement is just that. The software can actually take a motorized stage and drive around and take automatic measurements of patterns. These patterns can be repeatable in different areas. There might be something where the customer is looking at a pattern and they want to take it off, process, like polish or do something else to the sample, put it back on and move right back to that. Built into all of these solution modules now is a stage path function with an alignment feature. So we have the ability to put a sample on anywhere on the stage, move to a point of a known pattern, and align it with 3 points anywhere on the sample, and that aligns the position and the rotation.
Okay.
So then you can repeatedly drive back to those points after processing and take some automatic measurements. I'm going to go through that in a second and show you a quick example. Coating thickness is another new solution module. That one allows us to measure coatings that are put on the surfaces. So a lot of times metals, they'll put like a coating for surface matte finishing, and they'll want to take and measure those thicknesses. That can be done here. And I'll show you that as well. So automatic measure, we'll start a routine here real quick. This routine is going to run through. I have this in more of the manual mode right now. It's not the fully automated mode, just so I can show how it functions in a little bit slower reaction for the demonstration here. What it's going to do on the screen here, it's going to look for a specific pattern that I defined beforehand. And it's going to take several measurements for us. It's going to take a width measurement, an angle measurement. It's going to measure some circle distances and stuff. And that's all done by a button click. It's going to automatically define the pattern, mark the scanners for us, mark the line edges. It's going to give us a width measurement. It's going to give us our angle measurement. It's going to give us our distance between the circles here and the diameter of the other circle down here. So another thing real quick, we can see okay and not okay. So we programmed in tolerances.
Okay, so you can program in and do your inspection at the same time. Okay.
So with these tolerances, it's a quick visual inspection that it's passed. If it didn't pass, maybe they need to take the sample off and do more processing to it. Now they'll probably move to several new points on the sample, and you can see that this new point, it's close enough, it's within the field of view, the pattern's there.
So it'll automatically find it.
It's going to automatically find that pattern for us and mark all the measurements again.
Show us the layer thickness measurement. That was, you were showing me that earlier. That was pretty interesting.
Sure. Let me finish this real quick. We'll mark the last pattern. One thing to mention, on all these solution modules, when you're finished, you'll get kind of a workbook feature showing all of the measurements and your tolerances. These can be sent right out to Excel or your reports or PowerPoint.
Okay, so you can export right now. Matter of fact, that looks a little bit like an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's a workbook, and we just hit an Excel button here, and it lets us save out as an Excel document.
Okay.
Or we can go right to our reporting tab and generate a Word document with this embedded into it.
Or this could also be a PowerPoint?
It can also be sent into the PowerPoint document. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let me go back to you wanted to cover the coating thickness.
Yeah, the coating thickness.
I have an image here, real quick. I'll load. So this is an example of a surface that's been used a grinding ball of a certain diameter, grinds through the coatings. And this one has 2 individual coatings you can see here with the bands. We can measure this thickness since we know the exact diameter of the grinding ball and how many coatings we have. So we'll go into that module.
So I can see there's like an outer ring that's kind of a lightish gray color, and then an inner ring, and then you've got the actual base material.
Okay. Exactly. So all of these solution modules, they work as a workflow, just next kind of buttons. They all give you instructions at the top. We hit next here. We can type in a lot of information for our samples. Customers are usually going to have hundreds of these pictures that they'll want to process through, and this solution module can batch process those. All of our solution modules can do batch processing. And we hit next here. The settings for this, we can work on a flat image. We can also work on cylindrical or concaved. We just need to select what kind of material we did this work with. This one was a flat one. We type in the number of coatings. We type in the diameter of the grinding ball. And we just hit next. And then it's going to physically ask us to mark the first outer layer. So we'll mark 3 points around that outer layer. Okay? And then we can move ourselves into the inner layer and then the last bottom base layer. And once we mark those 3 points, which is 2 layers, it'll give us our coating thickness over here. Again, if you had 100 samples, you could quickly go through these and get an idea. If it was a reject, you could just reject it out of the process. We just hit next to get our results. And again, just like all the other solutions, we hit finish and we get a nice workbook up here with all of our result and data.
That you can export. That's great. We're almost out of time. Anything else you want to touch on real quick?
One more thing, the Stream 1.9, the new version, if customers currently have them, it is upgradable. If they want to upgrade their older build of the software to the 1.9 and incorporate these, any of the solution modules can also be purchased and add in at any time to our software package.
Okay, terrific. Okay. Again, that was the Olympus Stream, right?
Stream, yes.
Okay, Rob, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Dirk.
Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Dirk. Thank you, Rob. Yes, the Olympus Stream 1.9, and another great tech corner there with Rob Bellinger of Olympus and Dirk. And Dirk, we've had Rob come down a couple times now.
Yeah, he practically lives here.
He lives here. That's right. He's
should just leave the equipment here in the studio.
We always like doing that. So thank you, Rob, and thank you, Olympus, for sending that down. Thank you all for joining.